Welcome to DS Trucks. Today we're going to be changing the oil on our F350. We're kind of playing a dangerous game with this truck, being that this is the 7.3 liter Godzilla with its known problems of lifters and all that. We've been running Ford's factory oil in the truck, and when you look in here, you can see that our oil life is at 0%. So I got a little bit of time here. I'm actually going to start it up. We have 12,000 miles. This is the third oil change. So I'm going to hurry up and get this done. I'm at stress level 100 because I just haven't had time for this. But being a 7.3, being a truck with the lifter problems, you can't be playing these games. So I'm going to get this done before we go to work today. So here's a look at the oil that I got to go in here. I literally got this a few weeks ago. Motorcraft oil. And good thing it's a pretty straightforward, simple process to switch out this oil, because I'm going to hurry up and get this done before work today. Yeah, it's like everything's kind of right there for you on this truck. Oil filters right there, drain plugs there. Pretty straightforward. Let's see if this will come loose. Okay. Yeah, that. Let me get the oil sample kit ready. Alright, got the oil sample kit ready to go. I'm very curious on how this oil is gonna look or test. This is one freaking oil life sample on the 7.3 Godzilla. So what are you guys' thoughts on warming up the motor before an oil change? Is that an old school thing or what? Because almost missed. Is that an old school thought process? This oil is like lukewarm. Not even lukewarm, it's still cold. I only ran the engine for a little bit. So let's get our sample. Testing oil. Okay. I think I'm out of brake clean. So that's not cool. Because I need some of that in my life. Alright, and with everything in the same general area, you can almost, that stream slows down a bit, I can almost catch that oil filter too. This is kind of rushed. I kind of wish I had more time to really be OCD, but I just don't have the time. So with the shortage of time being real, I gotta do it quick. Everything's gotta be done quick. And this is a quick job when you do it this way, the quick way. This will be the quick way. All right, oil filter, new oil filters going in. Not pre-filling, not doing really nothing. Like I said, I don't have a ton of time. And there's residual oil on there, so that's what's going on the ring there. It's the old oil. And we're gonna just tighten it up. Now this filter, I probably can just tighten this by hand. I can get a good grip on it. And it's not like super big and heavy. That'll be good by hand. Going nowhere. I got one clean hand, one dirty one. That little drizzle is fine, I guess. Good enough. Just getting it done here. This is what you get from the quick lube, kinda. I would hope, at least. That's tight, probably over tight, but whatever. Saw how hard it was to take off, so it's a little difficult. Dirty hand. Hold the camera a little. Alright, drain plug tight, oil filter tight, dry, but a little bit of residual oil was up there, so that's all good enough, I guess. Alright, now I gotta put the oil in the engine. Alright, got the funnel pretty clean here. Gotta try to reach that, too short. Oil fill, funnel. It's like I'm hitting valve train components with my funnel there. I got 8 quarts, so I guess I'm taking 8 quarts. So this truck, guys, has been pretty good, but my 6.2 was better. Ran better, probably gonna last longer. Main problem that I've seen with this truck is the transmission. I just didn't get a good run of it. 10 speeds aren't all bad, but I just didn't get a good run of it. With this truck, it needs something. It needs something, but the engine has been so far okay, but it doesn't run as good as the 6.2 100%. The 6.2 had less power, you can tell. Not that much less power. It did, the 6.2, I had both trucks geared at a 4:30 ratio. So both of them did the same work. This, for like a daily driver, and something that's kind of cool. This is a little bit cooler of a motor, but from something that was just way more reliable, the 6.2 was more reliable. Not as a, honestly, the 6.2 is not as simple as the motor. This motor is much more simple, but the 6.2 had a different drivetrain that was a little bit more reliable in my opinion compared to this motor's drivetrain, which is valve train, push rod valve train. Not as reliable as the roller finger follower setup. That was in the 6.2. Very, very few valve train issues with the 6.2. Just very high mileage stuff that would have a few problems. With the 6.2s. These 7.3s off to a rocky start. And I think it comes down to this freaking oil that I'm putting in here right now, this synthetic blend. I don't think it's up to the snuff of being in a push rod engine. There's too much pressure on the valve train. Now, aside from that, this engine doesn't idle as well as the 6.2. And when it's real hot outside, it seems like it could benefit from like a premium fuel. Like it has a weird knock noise every once in a while. Now the 6.2, one of the differences is it had a dual spark plug set up, so maybe that was mitigating some of that, because that thing didn't care how hot, cold, nothing. So maybe this engine does want premium fuel, mid-grade fuel at least. It's not getting it. The main benefit that I've found with going to this engine is the fan clutch on this engine is quiet. So if they would have just made the fan clutch quiet on the 6.2, they would have probably got more power. I don't know if something was wrong with mine, but they would have gotten like a little bit more power, and they would have, because what happened with the 6.2 is in the winter time, when it got real cold, the fan clutch finally did turn off, and that thing ran so much better. I would say the 6.2 does run better than the 7.3 if the fan clutch isn't running. For some reason, it was just overactive all the time. Just as soon as you started the truck in the summer, woo, and that really fucking was a drag on the whole system. Oh. But this engine, it has a pretty good service interval. But it also takes freaking 7 quarts of oil, or 8 quarts of oil. So at 8 quarts, you know, I think it just needs a better oil. This is 530 synthetic blend. It's not a bad oil, but running like a real good AMS oil type of oil, I've never really had a problem. And I think being a 530, maybe a push rod engine really kind of benefits from a 540. I don't know. You know, GM's having these issues too, and I think, you know, same thing. Everyone wants to blame the lifter, but I think it's really the oil, and I think Chevy's running 5W20, so that's real thin. This 5W30 is probably why Ford is having a problem, but a lot less often than Chevy.